Imagine being able to see, without surgery, how an organ like the heart, liver, or gallbladder is working. Not just what it looks like, its anatomy, but actually how well it is functioning. That's what doctors at New England Medical Center Hospital and at thousands of other hospitals are able to do every day with Dupont Merck radiopharmaceuticals, drugs that use small amounts of radioactive materials to provide accurate and useful diagnostic images from within the body. Radiopharmaceuticals use small amounts of radiation for detecting disease and for assessing patient prognosis. Each radiopharmaceutical has a unique chemical structure that allows it to locate in and attach to a specific organ, which can then be imaged using a gamma camera.
Okay, thanks, John. Radiation is natural, and it's all around us all the time. This natural background radiation comes from outer space and from the Earth. It's present in the buildings we live and work in, and even in our food and water. Radioactive materials emit energy as they decay. That energy, called ionizing radiation, is easily detected and measured with special instruments. That's what makes it so useful in medicine. It's used for diagnostic testing, radiation therapy, and biomedical research. When used carefully and handled properly, ionizing radiation is one of the most useful tools for scientists and doctors.
Radioactive tracers have been used for the diagnosis and treatment of disease since the late 1940s. Now, more than 800,000 diagnostic procedures using radiopharmaceuticals are performed every month in the United States. Nuclear medicine is practiced throughout the world and is a specialty of about 3,000 United States physicians. Nuclear medicine physicians use images derived from radiopharmaceuticals to detect disease and to assess patient prognosis. They work closely with nuclear medicine technologists who prepare and administer radiopharmaceuticals, ensure the comfort of patients while images are being made, and monitor the equipment and computers that transform the gamma radiation emitted from the radiopharmaceuticals into diagnostic images. They must also ensure that the sophisticated imaging equipment is functioning properly. There are over 10,000 nuclear medicine technologists at work in the United States alone.
Most radiopharmaceuticals are administered intravenously. They're safe for use in patients of all ages, even infants, and a hospital stay is not required. Once the radiopharmaceutical has reached the organ of interest, the gamma camera detects the emissions of radiation from within that organ. The resulting images show blood flow, which is called perfusion. Physicians look at perfusion to determine how well an organ is functioning. Images made with radiopharmaceuticals provide valuable information about organ damage caused by disease or trauma.
About 10 million nuclear medicine procedures are performed each year in the United States. The most common procedures are those that image the skeletal system and the heart. The growth in nuclear cardiology over the past decade has been tremendous.
Over the last 10 years, cardiac nuclear medicine procedures have assumed a place of increasing importance in the assessment of patients with known or suspected coronary artery disease. These techniques, particularly using current generation radiopharmaceuticals and camera equipment, allow us to assess patients who in the past have had to undergo invasive cardiac catheterization procedures for the diagnosis of coronary disease. Products such as Cardiolite, a radiopharmaceutical which traces blood flow to the heart, have allowed us to image very large patients and patients who in the past could not be imaged adequately with previous radiopharmaceuticals. In addition, pharmacologic stress agents such as IV persantine have allowed us the ability to study coronary blood flow in patients who are unable to undergo treadmill exercise testing, such as those with orthopedic problems, previous cerebrovascular disease, and strokes, a large population who in the past have been very difficult to study, except with invasive catheterization techniques. On this screen, we see a new technique for assessing patients with suspected heart disease using Cardiolite. What we are seeing here are different slices of the heart assessing both blood flow, represented by the intensity of the color at any spot around the individual slice, as well as heart function, or thickening of the heart muscle wall, represented by the change in brightness at any particular point. Thus, we are now able to simultaneously assess blood flow to the heart and function of the heart with one test, which used to require 2 separate tests for each individual patient. In this particular patient, we see that blood flow, again, the color is normal all around most of the heart, however, is abnormal down in the lower right here, in the underside wall of the heart. That, coupled with the site of no motion, indicates that this patient has had a prior heart attack in that location.
To obtain accurate information about the condition of a patient's heart, it must be imaged both while at rest and during a period of maximum stress, which is usually achieved by exercise on a treadmill.
The nuclear medicine testing was so much easier than the others. It was, at first, you know, when you hear the word nuclear medicine, you kind of puts you off a little bit, but it was a lot easier than the catheterization test or any of the other tests that I've had done. Anything that was more intrusive. This wasn't intrusive, and it was very simple, very easy. You don't feel the medicine at all. You don't feel that shot in your arm. It was very good.
These procedures use low doses of radiation, which start to leave the body as soon as the drug is administered. We have to take that decay or half-life into account and precisely calibrate each dose to ensure an accurate and useful image.
It takes a dedicated team to ensure quality care at New England Medical Center Hospital. Physicians, technologists, and support staff all pull together every day to provide the best possible patient care. And contributing to their success is another successful team, Dupont Merck's radiopharmaceutical division. Almost 800 individuals performing hundreds of different jobs, functions and tasks that vary widely yet share a common purpose: improving the diagnosis and treatment of patients by providing quality products and service that expand on the unique advantages of radiopharmaceuticals. Although they share that purpose, the goals of each group are unique. Each one looks after a specific part of the business process. Without exception, each group is another group's customer. One group supplies a key ingredient to the next group's process and success. One individual provides support that makes another's job possible, or safe, or easier to do well. And every group makes a contribution to serving the customer.
DuPont Customer Service, this is Jim Pickard. And the PO number you'd like us to use? That will be 2 doses of thallium for delivery tomorrow. You're all set. Bye-bye. One of the most challenging aspects of this business is the speed with which we have to service our customers. For instance, because thallium-201 has a half-life of only 72 hours, it can't be made in advance and stockpiled. The thallium for the order I just took was probably produced on one of our 6 cyclotrons last night and is now being processed into a radiopharmaceutical. After it's checked for conformance to specifications and released by our quality unit, it will be packaged and sent to our customer for use tomorrow. Some of the world's premier delivery services help ensure that 99.9% of our products arrive on time.
In radiopharmaceutical operations, we face many challenges common to all pharmaceutical manufacturers, and many other challenges that are unique to our business. All pharmaceutical manufacturers must follow FDA guidelines called Good Manufacturing Practices, or GMPs. They are the foundation of all our processes. GMPs ensure that we are always in control of our processes and materials. Everything we do is documented. GMPs are really a way of life, a way of thinking and operating, that ensure every process is identical and that quality is repeated every time we manufacture our products. Unlike most pharmaceutical manufacturers, our business is governed by the Nuclear Regulatory Commission and the Department of Transportation. Our commitment to safety is reflected in our guidelines regarding radiation exposure that are even more strict than the federal regulations.
Dupont Merck radiopharmaceuticals utilize man-made radioisotopes produced in cyclotrons or in nuclear reactors. Reactor-produced radioisotopes come from outside sources. To meet the demand for thallium-201, gallium-67, and other radioisotopes, Billerica's 6 cyclotrons need to be kept running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Cyclotrons turn non-radioactive, stable elements into radioactive isotopes by bombarding them with protons at nearly the speed of light. Billerica is the site of the world's first commercial cyclotron. Dupont Merck's commitment to the radiopharmaceutical business was illustrated by its multi-million-dollar investment in the site's 6th cyclotron, which went online in 1991. Another radioisotope used in nuclear medicine is technetium-99m, which results from the decay of molybdenum-99. Molybdenum-99 is produced in nuclear reactors and shipped to Billerica, where it is used in the technetium-producing generators manufactured here. Hospital personnel use these generators, which are known as the workhorses of nuclear medicine, to radio-label Dupont Merck kit products. These products can be ordered in advance and used when needed. Each of them has a long shelf life. Dupont Merck researchers continue to look for new uses for existing radiopharmaceuticals and to develop new ones, such as Neuralite for examining the brain. As the world's market leader in radiopharmaceuticals, the Radiopharmaceutical Division is playing a vital role in the success of the Dupont Merck Pharmaceutical Company. Your efforts as part of the radiopharmaceuticals team are helping Dupont Merck achieve its vision of becoming a multi-billion-dollar, research-based company that is recognized worldwide for superior service to customers and contributions to mankind.